my tea. Yo, people, good evening and welcome to the pod, or welcome to the show today, people. Today, we're going to have some serious conversations, man. Today, the main topic is going to be speaking about our manager's relationship, his behaviors towards some of the players. One we're going to talk about is Eze, probably in depth. The main person we're going to speak about Eze in depth, because it seems like I don't know. We're gonna go around the panel in a moment and talk about it, but it seems like the manager doesn't fancy him, and I'm not in a pause way, but he just doesn't fancy him as a player. But what I want to do first is I want to go way back to when he first joined the club, or just before. Yeah. So let me just go through a little bit of history of Eze and what I know about Eze already. Yeah. So. And I might get some of this wrong, or I might have forgotten about this stuff. So Eze started off in the lower leagues. I can remember him playing for Reading, and I remember him playing for QPR especially, because I've got a friend that I used to go to school with, and he's been at QPR for years, coaching for years. I think he was at Chelsea. Actually, he's a Chelsea fan, but he's been at QPR for years, and he knows Eze in and out and everything, you know. And Eze's obviously gone to Palace. You know, he's stepped up his career at Palace. He became one of the main guys at Palace alongside Zaha and who's the other brother? Yeah, the wicked, tricky winger. I can't remember his name. Remember his name? Elise as well, among others as well, there as well. And this summer, you know, we were. I don't know if there was early talks previously, but there was talk of Eze, and then Eze decided, you know what, I'm going to sign for Spurs to accelerate the matter. And then I think last minute, in my opinion, I think Berta got the deal done, because I don't think Eze is an Arteta type of player. We're going to get into that later on today. And then obviously, you know, the tune came out, let it all work out. Eze is an Arsenal player. Most of us, I think, wanted Eze. A dream come true, coming back to your old club. And it was emotional. I listen, when me and Cape were doing a stream and the news broke, it was emotional for us to know that Eze's come home. And we knew last season that he picked up a FA Cup, a Community Shield. We know that don't count, but still, it was still against City. He beat City. He was tremendous in those games as well. But it hasn't worked out so far for me in his Arsenal career. So that's just a little introduction. But we're going to get into more stuff along the way. But I'm going to start with, anyone could come in and you can tell me your side of things when the story of Eze coming to the club, what it meant to you, and all of that kind of stuff. So anyone could go. So open panel, do your thing.
Take it away, Craig.
You go first. It's fine.
Okay. always so modest, Mr. Matthews. Always. So look, man. You know, Eze, as you said, Eze was a player that I had always wanted. You know, he offered something different. that a lot of our 10s did not have. And like and above all else, like he had proven himself at Palace, and it was a signing that all of us like were really looking forward to. Simultaneously, we had also given him like the coveted number 10 role, rather coveted number 10 like kit for that matter. And that comes with a very heavy burden, so to speak. Just like giving Gyökeres the 14th shirt. There is a massive burden. Like giving out very prestigious numbers, like at our club, because I'm sure that those players know like the weight that comes with wearing the shirt. However, we also know that Mikel Arteta did not want Eze in the summer. We know that he had wanted Nico Williams because we had been linked with him for time. And we also know, and I know we're going to get into this, like in this stream. We know how petulant Arteta can be when he doesn't get his own way. And for the first time ever, under his managerial regime, he was overruled by someone else, and even furthermore by someone else who has just waltzed into the club 6-7 months prior to that, right? Here's someone that actually had a CV over at Atletico Madrid, who has brought in quality players. Granted, there have been some misses as well, but he has brought in quality players, and he had overruled Arteta, not just with Eze and Nico Williams, but also with Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko. When we signed these two players, for me, right out of the gate, I always knew they were going to be post-Arteta signings. That Berto was signing these two players for a future after Mikel. Because what these two signings have done, they have exposed Arteta to be an incompetent manager who is failing to get the best out of his own players and are forcing players into that same type of rigid mold of players that he already has and that he personally likes. Like he has turned Eze into a shadow of his former self. He has ultimately iced him out of the first team. And when he gets those, like garbage minutes, say, like 10, 12 minutes to come and shape the game, it is being done so intentionally, just so that whenever Eze does come on the pitch, does not rip up trees, Arteta can point to that as justification to say, oh, well, see, this is exactly why I don't play him. This is exactly why he doesn't start. We have seen him do this with other players as well. Like, for example, like several years ago, like Trossard, he was named February player of the month, and we hadn't even seen him for the next 2 months after that. After Eze's hat trick against Spurs, man's barely got any minutes. Meanwhile, simultaneously, we always hear everyone say, people talking about, players need to earn their position to start, but simultaneously, Arteta continues to start players that don't earn the right to start. So there's a lot of hypocrisy going on from this manager, but we all know that this was something that he never wanted, and he has taken it so personally that someone else, like an Andrea Berta, had overruled him on players that he personally wanted, and ever since that summer, he's been pouting ever since.
Craig, chime in, man.
Yeah, I think when Eze first came to Arsenal, we were all happy, all of us were excited. London boy came back to the club, like he was in the youth team, and he came back all happy. He started when he came on against Liverpool on his debut. He played quite well when he came on. I thought he played decent, made some good runs, and very unlucky not to get an assist in that game. And he played well against Man City as well. Got the assist for Martinelli's goal. And then the Tottenham game he played, he got a hat trick. He did well in that game as well. And I think after that, Odegaard came back into the team after that. I think he didn't really get back into the team after that, really. And then he was just pushing for minutes. And I know he made an error against Aston Villa. Didn't track the man, but playing left wing, didn't track the man back, and I think Cass scored from that goal. Then after that game, didn't play for a while. I did score against Crystal Palace as well. I remember that game, scored against Crystal Palace, the winner against Crystal Palace. And after that, he's hardly been playing. He's been in and out of the team. When he does play, it doesn't look like he's lost a lot of confidence as well. So, he's struggling with confidence right now. And it doesn't seem like every time he plays, it doesn't seem like he can do what he wants to do on the ball. He tends to be very, like even tactically told to do certain role. It's not giving him the flair. He's a flair player, so you rather express himself in the 10 and make him do his thing, but he's not really getting that chance to do what he can do on the ball. So it's very difficult for him, I would say.
Can you guys hear me? I think my screen might have frozen a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Can you hear me? Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
man. I don't know. Yeah, my laptop's playing about. I don't know, but I'm frozen. Oh, I'm back now. Okay, so Craig, you touched on something that we saw in the Aston Villa game, yeah, and I think you're referring to this situation where Eze didn't track Matty Cash and he went on to go and score, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to talk about previous to that is when we played Liverpool, and this is the comments, and I've checked the sources as well, to just make sure that they're the correct sources as well. And it's this source. When we played Liverpool, Arteta said this. He said, you have to put the ball in the back of the net. Today we have 3, 4, 5 situations inside the box. 1v1. Eze is completely through just to finish the action. You have to put the ball in the net if you want to win. Now, I've never heard him say anything like that about Odegaard. Or any other player to that matter. So, I don't know, Dr. Seymour. I call you Dr. S. But this type of, I don't know if it's gaslighting or whatever he's doing, it's not fair. Do you think it's fair that Arteta came out with that at the time where he'd had just been with us for how many 4 or 5 weeks, and that was his first substitute appearance? Did you find that a little bit strange when Arteta came out with that?
Yeah, so I mean, look, I mean, even in my own personal life, I had grown up with a very, I grew up in a very repressive household, and ultimately, my old man said, life, life isn't fair. There are things that are just not ultimately going to work out. But when we talk about context, right? As you had said, this manager rarely, if ever, individualizes people, or rather he rarely individualizes players when he is lamenting about something that had occurred during the match. And the fact that he is name dropping someone, someone that had just come in just a few weeks, prior to that match, we have seen Arteta in the past embrace players that he loves, that he wants to see succeed. For example, our favorite German jackass, the highest paid player at the club, 29, right? We could not stop hearing about how much Arteta was professing his love. Big up to you, AFC 87.
Big up AFC always.
Arteta had always said, we could see both in his words and his actions how much Arteta wanted and still wants 29 to succeed. Grabbing 29 by the head, bringing him over to the away crowd, giving him all these penalty, all these pity penalty goals, and and professing how much of a beast he is in the exercise room, and all of this nonsense, right? Why is it not being reciprocated? Why is it being so individualized to only players that Arteta favors? And that's where you can build a case that there is a certain vendetta against players that Arteta just doesn't like. whether it's because he had wanted other players, whether it's because he just doesn't personally like them, for whatever reason. But we also know, like, this manager does speak, and he speaks out of both sides of his mouth, because on one hand, like, he'll talk about like how he absolutely knew he had to sign Raheem Sterling after talking with him for about 15-20 minutes on the phone, or or lauding up how great of a signing Christian Norgard was when he's only played 90 minutes this entire Premier League campaign. So it's like, it is so evident and obvious. We just don't know what the root cause, what the root, I guess, like, foundation as to why there is such a vendetta. The only thing that I can think of, right? So, and I guess we could also debate as far as like what Eze's natural position should be, like whether it is, like, right in that 10 support striker role, or whether it is like on the left. However, like, if we consider Eze's like most natural position to be in that 10 role, sitting right behind the striker, that is a problem for Arteta, simply because he has his favorites. Arteta wants to see 29 and Jesus and Marino, probably even Zubamendi at this point, like, in that role before he would want Eze. But again, like, it doesn't, like, it shouldn't matter, like, what his personal feelings are. Like, he is the manager of a club. He is getting paid £15.6 million a season to get the best out of his entire squad. And if he is not doing that for whatever personal or professional reasons, then those issues need to be stamped out with the player, with the board, and with himself. Again, like, there are no excuses. Like, we simultaneously can't talk about how we have the best squad in the world and the best squad depth in the world, and we're not getting the best out of players that have already proven themselves at different clubs. And everyone talks about, like, how we tend to go for Premier League players because they're proven in the league as it is, right? Eze was a proven Premier League player, and he has fallen off a cliff under this manager. We have seen other players fall off a cliff under this manager. So we know that there is a common denominator here, right? At the end of the day, there's a common denominator. It's not the players, it's the manager. I'll put a pin on that.
Craig, do you want to respond to Dr. Seamer's point before I bring up some more damning evidence?
I thought that, like, when he played against Tottenham, he scored a hat trick, was played further forward, just behind the striker, and he scored good goals in that game. But I feel like sometimes when he's playing, he doesn't seem like the position he plays. Like, I know he hasn't really been given, but when he did starts and he played all right, then, as I said, his confidence went. But if you don't have trust from the manager, you all play football, you understand football. If you don't have trust from the manager, then you know that even if you play well one game, you're not going to start the next one. So it's one of them ones where you're just fighting for your place. You're not going to start. You're going to be on the bench. So I thought he played well before when Odegaard was injured. I thought he did a good job when Odegaard was injured. And as soon as Odegaard came back, he just wasn't the same player after that. His confidence also just went after that, I would say.
Craig, that's a real. I mean to interrupt, but that's a great point that you made, Craig. Because like, as it almost seemed as if Eze and Gyökeres were starting to build a bit of a partnership. Like, I think it was Eze that had put in Gyökeres, like, for one of his first league goals, like at the beginning of the season. But ultimately, that's how you build chemistry. Like, those players have to be on the pitch together. They have to be. That's just mad zesty. That's just a mad pause, right?
Yeah. Mods. Yeah, go on.
And the only thing I would say, to our good friend Boyten Dio, do we want what kind of 10 do we want? Do we prefer a 10 who is creating chances, or a 10 that is leading a press? Because I'm here to say, after watching football now for going on 30 some odd years, I want my 10 to be creating chances, not just for our striker, but I want them to be the conductor in the final third, making rather creating chances not only for our wingers but also for our striker. And you know, like a press is a secondary trait, even maybe a tertiary trait for an attacking midfielder. Like, we need them to be creating chances and scoring goals. Like, those should be like the primary and if not the secondary, you know, components.
So I'm just going to show you something else, what Arteta said after the Brentford game. Arteta didn't tear apart Eze's performance, but he was blunt that the 27-year-old wasn't playing to the standard required. With the way Brentford were pressing, we needed another kind of profile to generate many more problems for them around those areas. Martin Odegaard came on really well, and the team had another gear and more threat to arrive in areas we wanted to. That's the decision. So I suppose, you know, at least he's being honest. But still, as someone that's taken Eze off after 45 minutes, you know, he's been benching Odegaard's, and Odegaard's really had kind of like a bit part play this season. He's been a bit part player this season, getting hooked after 50 minutes and stuff like that. What does Eze have to do to sustain, you know, a long period in his team? Because it looks like everyone has to be injured in that specific area. And I like what you mentioned, Dr. Seymour, yeah? I'm calling you Dr. S. Well, I don't know why I'm calling you Dr. Seymour. I'm being very respectful right now, but Dr. S is my respect because that's my brother, yeah? But you brought up something really, I think, pertinent to the debate. Whether Eze is a 10 or whether he plays in that 8 or that left half space in the attack. Surely, when we look at those games he played for Crystal Palace, why are we not replicating what he did for Palace in the Arsenal team with a manager that earns 15.6 million? Why are we not replicating it?
What I would say is that, you know, like, that would require Arteta to change his system. That would require Arteta to change things that he has been doing. And we also know that this manager is a very stubborn individual. You know, like, if every, because mind you, right, like, Arteta over time, he has built up this like this public relations oriented narrative that he is, you know, that he is some like decent that he's some half decent manager, that he is, you know, that he is a tactician of sorts, right? If he starts changing things up halfway through a season, he's quietly admitting that he has gotten things wrong. And just by default, that already chips away at the narrative that he is some omnipotent, infallible manager. Yes. Right? You know, and so it's, you know, as we know, like, you know, like 3 years ago, we were playing lights out football, and I think like Eze, like, at that time, he would have fit a lot better, just because we were playing a lot more free flowing attacking football. Absolutely correct. Yeah, absolutely correct. Echo Hustle.
You got to Echo Hustle, man.
Absolutely
First time
correct.
in the building, definitely. Craig? Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. Nope. I'm yapping too much. Go on, Greg.
Go on, Craig.
Yeah, it's true. He will throw him under the bus because it's not his signing. It was a Berta signing. So any little thing that goes wrong is going to blame. It's going to be scapegoat. So, you know. But I feel there's a player in Ez. I think Ez is the kind of player that, you know, if once he can get his confidence back, he'll score a crucial goal for us, like a wins or something. So, you know, don't write him off right now. Still give him the trust in a bit that he can pull up and do something for the team. So, but the manager has to believe in him as well and use him more frequently as well.
You see that by Craig, yeah? Listen, Craig might be quiet to everyone here, yeah, but I'm telling you, yeah, my man knows. He goes football. He understands football now, yeah. Now, Troops was even saying it earlier. football's about 80%, you know, confidence, 80% confidence and 20% whatever. Yeah. Now, a confident Eze wipes the floor with Odegaard in a system that's attacking, that's free flowing. He wipes the floor with Odegaard in my opinion. But he's not being allowed to express himself in that way. Now, I want to show you some stats quickly, people. Yeah, from 21, is it 2020, whatever? Let me show you something quickly. I'm just going to bring this up.
Yeah, while you do that, I'm just going to quickly answer Boyten Dio's, question here.
Yeah, you do that.
The difference, my friend, is that Pep has won things. Pep has pedigree. He has already established himself as one of the best managers in the game, both present era and over time. If he changes things, he's allowed to, just by default, that he can identify something that's wrong. What we are saying is that Arteta has been given so many chances and opportunities to see that what is going on the pitch, something is not right. It just requires a few tweaks. It may just be a matter of pulling the handbrake off a few times. We don't have to have the emergency brake on 24/7, 365. So again, and also for the most part, Arteta has not won anything. That is the justification. Arteta's system has not proven to win anything. It just is what it is.
You know what? I think Boyten, I think he makes some very good arguments at times. And I think because he's optimistic about us winning the quadruple and whatever, I'm going to get to the comments as well, yeah, that he's probably going to say a lot of Eze's not been performing and all that kind of stuff. And, at some point, yeah, I was even doing that. Yeah, I was doing that with Gyökeres as well. But it's for the manager to get the best out of these players. Is that not right? It's if the players are not performing to a standard, yeah, that's on you, yeah, Arteta, yeah, because you need to be getting the best out of these players, yeah, especially in a championship run where we're down to, I'm saying bare bones now with the 10s, because Odegaard, after that display where he was on the ground acting like he was all injured and stuff, yeah, hobbling and all that, yeah. I can't see Eze. I couldn't see Eze doing that kind of rubbish. Maybe he might have not defended Matty Cash very well, but I can't see Eze doing that kind of silliness where the player gets in front of him and he's down injured, crying, yeah, because he knows he's made that mistake, yeah. But I just want to show you Eze's stats over the last 5 or so years. So 34 appearances, and this is probably for Palace, obviously playing for Palace. 34 appearances, 5 substitutes, 4 goals and 6 assists. So that was in 20, and then let's go up the years. So 21, 22. So less appearances, probably injuries, not that great season. 22, 23. 38 appearances, 8 as subs, 10 goals, 4 assists. Very good season. That was the season where we bottled the league. But look at that. Look at those numbers already. Very good numbers already. 22, 23. We go to 23, 24. And he's less appearances, but he's got more goals. 1 more goal and 4 assists as well. And then we go to 24, 25. 34 appearances, 8 assists this time and 8 goals. Very successful year as well because he won the FA Cup for Palace and obviously the Community Shield. And this season so far, 21 appearances, 8 as subs, 4 goals and 2 assists. I want to look at Odegaard's stats as well from 2021 as well, yeah? So 14 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists. 2022, 36 appearances, 7 goals and 4 assists. Let's go up again. 2023, I think this was his best season. 15 goals and seven assists, 37 appearances though. So we had a lot of games, but that's a very good return. Very, very massive return. 9.9 XG. A lot of, obviously, both these players have had time out of injuries as well. But 30 appearance. This is where it goes down for Odegaard, yeah. 30 appearances. Say again?
I think you skipped 23-24 by accident.
Oh, did I skip 23-24? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So 23-24. Once again, 10 assists, 8 goals. That's pretty impressive to me. You know, for an attacking midfield, those 10 assists. And then go to 24-25. It's gone down a bit. Still 30 appearances. 8 assists isn't too shabby, but 3 goals is not good enough, in my opinion. And then we go to this season where he's had a lot of injuries as well. He's had 19 appearances with 1 goal and 4 assists. I think with Eze, he's got 4 goals and 2 assists this season as well. So there's 2 things that I'm seeing here, right? Yeah. 1, they're not having great seasons, both of these players, yeah. And 2, the system is not allowing them to be expressive, to be free-flowing, in my opinion. Now, this has to be down to the manager. Yeah, this has to go down to the manager because that return is shocking. After this many games, 19 games, you've only got 1 goal and 4 assists. That's shocking. Eze, 4 goals and 2 assists. Shocking, absolutely shocking. And I haven't finished there, people. I'm not finished there. I'm not finished. I want to show you some stats here as well. Sorry. We're gonna talk. I want to show you some stats here as well. Yeah. So we've seen the goals and assists and everything. Eze is probably just ahead of Odegaard this season in terms of his stats. Yeah. When you look at the heat maps, obviously Odegaard does a lot of, you know, this is a blood clot as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is Odegaard, yeah, his heat map, yeah. You can see there, and this is Eze. Listen. Oh, that's Odegaard. No, that's Odegaard's one there. That's Odegaard's one. So, you know, Odegaard does a lot of stuff around the right-hand side, yeah, as you can see, yeah. He does a lot of stuff. With Eze, you can see he's around, do you know what I mean, that front area. One thing I loved about Eze, yeah, you know that goal he scored against Villa? It was offside, but the whole play between Odegaard slowed the ball down, but the passing was good. You know what I mean? It was about 20 passes or more than that. But he scored an offside goal. I thought that football was really good from both players in that passage of play. But when you look at the stats, and Eze is in the green, yeah, you can see, okay, things got more assists. Shots on goal, you know, Eze's got more. Odegaard makes more chances, big chances. 1 passing accuracy, Eze's slightly better. Defensive, Odegaard's better. Block, Eze's better. Tackles, Eze. Ground duels, Eze. Aerial duels, Eze. So it's not great. It's not a massive difference in stats between them, but I want to take the captaincy out of this. I want to talk about abilities because we know that the manager has his favourites, yeah. But in a situation where you're trying to win a league, yeah, your favourites will hamper you and they will stop you from winning this league if you continue to do this. Because an injury to Odegaard, and that's Eze playing 10, 12 games, Champions League, he has to be forced into play. And this is what Pep does. Pep rests players, rotates players, and brings them in at the right time. Look at all the players. They're coming back right now. They're coming back right now. We've got players going out. We've got players that are injured. We've got players that are struggling. We've got players that are mental. And this is where I want Dr. S to come in, yeah, because I want to talk about the psychological impact that this has on players. Not just Eze, by the way. Not just Eze, but on Odegaard as well. I want you to speak on the impact on the psychological element or impact on both Eze and Odegaard right now, especially with them battling for the same position. Because he doesn't play them both together. And sorry, I'm going on a monologue, but I'm really kind of like, I'm emotionally in tune when it comes to this. I'm really like, I need to get some answers from you, Dr. S. So just chat to me, man.
Yeah. So I think we can all typically agree that a captain tends to be a reflection of the manager, right? Fair statement. Would you have any dispute to that, Craig? Either?
No.
George Graham, Tony Adams, reflection. Both hard men. Pause. But yeah, definitely.
Right. So as we know, this manager is a very stubborn individual, and he is invested in proving people wrong. We know that one of the greatest captains and club legends, and Tony Adams, has already come out and said that we are not going to win anything with Odegaard as a captain, because at the end of the day, he isn't a captain. And we know that is ultimately one of the primary reasons why Odegaard isn't getting dropped for anything, simply because if Arteta starts, dropping Odegaard, if Arteta were to even take off the armband, it would be disputing that narrative, that we had already established, that Arteta is that he is an omnipotent, infallible genius. The fact that he would have to admit a failure, that is not viable. So Odegaard, much like a lot of these players, they have massively dropped off a cliff from 3 years ago when we had first bottled the league, when we were top of the season for 93% of the season. And and we kind of talked a little bit about it in the chat earlier today. This is a psychological disorder. So for anyone who's interested, in the chat, it is called repetition compulsion. It is recreating, it is replaying traumatic experiences in one's life. And what Arteta has been doing, he has not only recreated the experiences that he had personally as a player playing for Arsenal in 2013-14, because mind you, time is a flat circle. Shout out to you, Matthew McConaughey. Time is a flat circle, and history tends to repeat itself if things do not, if there is no looking back at history and seeing where things went wrong. In 2013-2014, we were top of the league at Christmas and New Year's. And then on February 1st, 2014, we went to Anfield and we got smacked up 5-1. And our season went downhill ever since. In 2015-2016, very similar to this season, how all the teams had dropped off. We were, everyone in the media was saying, "Oh, this is Arsenal's to lose because there are no other, typical competitors, keeping up pace with them." And then that was the season that Leicester won the league. And if I'm also not mistaken, I think Mikel was even captain of the Arsenal squad at that time. So fast forward to now being a manager, where we were top of the league for 93% of the season. And we were flying. We were absolutely flying. And then we had that Saliba injury. We did not do anything that January to bring in any type of reinforcements to reaffirm that that this season was going to be our season, that we were going to get over the line. We were complacent, which is a very typical sentiment at this club, simply because we take such pride and such joy being top of the league at Christmas, being top of the league at New Year's Eve, being top of the league in January, being still being in the FA Cup, being being top of the Champions League table, being top at all these places halfway through a season, And people unfortunately developed this type of complacency that, that we're just going to coast through for the rest of the season just because we had done so well previously. Unfortunately, this manager has applied all of that trauma onto this squad. This entire squad is traumatized, no shadow of a doubt. And I think it was Taryn. Shout out to BBK as well. He had asked, is it harder to win the league first or to retain, being champions the following season? And for this club, for this manager, and for these players, the hardest thing is to win a trophy. It is to get over the line because there is a massive psychological block. And it all stems back down to the manager because at every time, both as a player and a manager, when the heat is on some Glenn Fry, settings, like when the heat is on and pressure, and the pressure mounts, because everyone knows, like everyone always loves saying, how we have failed to get over the line, and how we know that as a big club, we need to win silverware. Like, as a big club, we should be winning silverware annually just by default of being the third largest club in England and being a globally recognized brand. So the fact that we have gone on for over 2 decades not winning the league, and for the fact that we have gone on for now, going on 6 years, not winning any trophy for that matter, that has built up over time. It has sown doubt into these players' minds whether or not they can do it. Like, it's why Saliba always talks about in interviews that he can't view himself as the best defensive back in the world simply because he has no silverware to show for it. It's also why we had seen Declan Rice mouth off like at the end of the match, like every fucking time, just because like he can see it. That it's happening again. We all can feel it, but but as I said at the onset, like the captain is not only a reflection of the manager, but the way that we play, the system is a reflection of the manager. He would rather draw than lose, and by doing that, we end up dropping more points than we need to. He is far too timid. He is far too scared, and all of it is a reflection of the fact that he has spent so much money. He has done all of these things. He has had a blank check. He has been given carte blanche. No other manager in any sport across the history of time. You could look at any other sport in the world, baseball, basketball, egg ball, over in the US, like you could look at any other sport. No other individual manager has been given all the resources to succeed and still hasn't succeeded. Like, that itself is psychologically damning. So and that's why I always say, why I ultimately have no faith is because like I am someone that requires like seeing something to believe in something. I need to see tangible evidence to believe that something that something is true. So when people say that we're going to be walking the league or we're going to be doing a quad or doing things like that, like when we haven't even done it before, we haven't even won a treble in our club history, right? So the fact that after 6 years of being in such a silverware drought, that all of a sudden we're going to we are going to not only win a trophy but then win 4. It seems like, what's the phrase, penny wise and pound foolish or something like that. So again, like, I'm yapping at this point, but it's like it is so frustrating, and as a lot of the chat are saying, like Arteta needs to understand how to utilize these players. But the fact of the matter is that we're already halfway through a season and he still hasn't figured it out. Everyone was always saying, oh, well, just wait until our attack clicks. We're already in mid-February and the attack still isn't clicking. Like, that has to go back down to the manager.
definitely. Craig, I just looked at something on here, and it's saying that Odegaard's injured again, and he's probably going to be out until, I don't know for how long he's going to be out. But is this an opportunity now for Eze as well? Because Eze really now has to play now. There's no one really. We shipped off Ranieri, and he was an unused sub tonight in their 2-2 draw at Marseille. Is it worrying signs that we're seeing from Arteta? And listen, I'm not an Arteta fan. Yeah, I've never been an Arteta fan. I'll give him props for what he's done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for how he's brought the club along. I'll give him his props. Do you know what I'm saying? But what we're seeing in the final, you know what I mean, business end right now, and we're still at the top with 3 points. Yeah, we're in it until we're not in it, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, and I know I work with Cape and I work with other people as well that are, you know, positive fans, but I've got my own opinions in it, and it's subjective to call someone level-headed, in my opinion, because I don't know what I am. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm happy when we win. I'm pissed when we lose. But sometimes when we lose or when we draw, I kind of have a little bit more control these days. Just say control for now. Yeah? Because I don't want to lose my head. Because sometimes watching people and what they say and stuff like that, I rather listen and I rather understand it first. And I can understand PTSD from fans as well, because I've been there as well. But we're in it until we're not in it, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, I digress, yeah? With the likes of Odegaard possibly carrying an injury now, our 10 is looking like that position is looking like it's molded for Eze now. It looks like it's molded for him right now.
Of course.
If you was the manager, yeah, and you had to say and you had to speak to Eze, yeah, what would you say to Eze going into this run of games, especially in the Premier League as well? What would you say to him as a manager?
I'll say to you, Eze, you're an important player to the team right now. We need you to step up. We believe in you. We paid all that money for you. We believe in you. We believe you've got a good future here. And I'll say to him, you know what, please go out and express yourself. We'll give you the freedom on the pitch to do what you need to do. Let's get some goals and assists and help the team over the lines. 12 games left. Odegaard might be injured for a couple of games. We need to step up now, like I did against Tottenham. Maybe show him the Tottenham video, and show him the Man City video when he got the assist. Show him all his good points of the season when he was doing well. And say to him, no, try and replicate these stuff they did before and try and get us over the line. And then you know, just try and give him as much confidence as possible. That's what he needs to do. Give him as much confidence as possible and say to him, you know what? I believe in you. I believe you can do this. And we need you to step up now because, you know, we've got a title on the line and we need to, you know, push us away from City, because City are chasing us, and we need to get more points on the board and give them a massive gap away from us. And, you know, we need you to just do your thing. So, you know, that's what I would say to Eze. I'll say, Eze, you're my main man now, and you have to do the job for the team. And you know, just do what you can do. Express yourself. Get goals and assists.
Hey, Craig, you look like you're falling asleep, brother. You look tired, bro. Did you play football today?
No, I didn't play football today.
You look tired, brother. You look tired.
You hidden, Papa. I know what you mean.
Brother, listen, I can see Craig like... But anyway, big up to royalty in the building, man. BBK, yeah. No one gets more respect from BBK than me. Yeah, my brother, my younger brother. He's my younger brother. Yeah, I can say that. But you know what? He's doing big things in this YouTube industry, and he's very modest. You know what I'm saying? But we can see, we seeing, we believe in my brother. So keep it up. But hey, if you haven't subscribed to my brother BBK, he was supposed to be here today, but he's doing the romancing thing tonight. You know what I mean? It's there's 14 people in here as well, so make sure you slap up the likes, people.
Yo, one of the admins, someone please get BBK's link in the chat. You know, man's.
No, hold on. You don't need to do that. I can do that myself.
Say less. Say less.
There it is
There. Oh,
in the chat, and
that's smoke.
it's done.
That's smoke. Yo, let's get up to 2K, man. He's right on the cusp. I think he's at like 1.98 right now. Like, so,
yeah. Make sure you listen,
right
trolls. Yeah, let's get him up there. But I presented the evidence for you guys today, and there's probably more evidence out there as well. If you as the manager, Dr. S, going into this critical number, I think we've got 12 games left in the Premier League. We're still in the Champions League. We're still in the FA Cup. We've got an important final, which who knows? Eze might start that if he goes in a run. But I need to know what you got to say as a manager to Eze. What are you saying to Eze right now with no number 10? What are you saying, Dr. S?
Well, first and foremost, it would be going under the premise that I would never have treated Eze like this to begin with. Again, as one of the legends in the chat, AFC87 always has said, Eze needs the 29 treatment. As you had mentioned as well. Sport these days, it is typically 80% confidence and 20% skill. And we know that Eze has a skill, but his confidence has been sucked out, like a succubus from this manager. He has been absolutely just drained of his freedom to express himself on the pitch. So what I would be saying to if I suddenly had this Freaky Friday kind of switch with Arteta as of right now, I'll be going into that locker room. I'd be having a one-on-one chat with him, and I will be saying, look, I apologize. I am sorry for the way that I have been treating you this season. It was not deserved. I had perhaps other intentions of what I wanted, but it has not worked out. But what I want is to see you work out. Because if you succeed, and if Gyökeres succeeds, this club is going to score goals, and we are going to get over the line. Arteta needs to be holding Eze, by the head and bringing him over to the away crowd. He needs to be elevating him. He needs to be getting the best out of Eze, because we know that he can perform. And as you also mentioned as well, players are dropping like flies at this club, and as we also know, this manager loves rushing players back in. I don't believe that Odegaard has an injury. It's probably
interesting.
Yeah, no, as we had seen over the last few segment of games that Odegaard was out, the injury list was posted, but there was no injury listed for Odegaard, simply because he's not injured. It's a psychological injury that he has. It's a psychological injury that that Odegaard knows that he's not good enough, that he is ultimately a failed wonder kid, and that he is on borrowed time at this club. Because we know that that when we do go trophyless this season and Arteta gets sacked, Odegaard is going to be one of the first people out the door.
Interesting, Craig. What you got to say about that?
No, I agree. I think it's not to see him on spot on there. If he goes, then he's taking him with him.
Mm-hmm.
Craig is cold, Craig is cold.
And simultaneously, something just popped back up into my mind, that quote that you had shared earlier after the Brentford game, where Arteta said that Odegaard had come on and done really well.
Yeah, I'll just bring it up again.
Good shout. How is it? Again, it's all going back to protect his favorites, his captain, right? Martin Odegaard came on really well, and the team had another gear and more threat to arrive in the areas we wanted to. Really? Did you watch the game? Did anyone here watch the game? And could you agree with that sentence? Because let me tell you, when Odegaard came on, we looked geriatric. We looked thin of ideas, and Brentford had also scored in the second half to tie up the game where we had dropped 2 points. So it is straight up Waffle House settings there. Complete absolute rubbish. You know, like and again, like forcing players like Odegaard, forcing players like 29, like back into the team, even forcing players like Saka at this stage as well. Like we were doing relatively fine with Saka and Odegaard both out. And yes, like Odegaard is the first one. Odegaard, 29, and Jesus, they are the first three, like in no particular order, but they are the first three to go for sure. Because not only are they amongst like some of the biggest like wage earners at this club, but even quoting one Edu, we have too many players on massive wages not contributing to the success of this club. And the fact that they were given such high wages out of the rip, that is damning in and of itself. Like Odegaard's soft. I'm sorry, go on, Craig. I'm sorry.
I can name you a few players that we have on loan that Fabio Vieira, big wages. Kivior's out on loan. Reece Nelson on 100 grand a week on loan at Brentford, hardly plays. We've got so many players that we tried to get rid of in the summer, couldn't get rid of. Finally, we got rid of Shevchenko in the summer to Ajax. We didn't get a lot of money for him, and 1.5 million we got for him. And we paid a big money for him from Man City. So when it comes to selling players, we don't really get good value for money. We buy them for big money and then we sell them for little pittance, nothing. So that's the problem as well.
But simultaneously, and that's a fantastic point they made. Honestly, I completely forgot that Kivior was even on the books. Right? Completely forgot about him. But ultimately, like the issue that we have is that, like all these players that are on such massive wages, the clubs that would be able to afford those wages don't want them simply because they're not good enough. Like they are not up to par. And the clubs that would be on par with them can't afford their wages. And the players aren't going to be, like intentionally taking pay cuts to be going to a club that's a downgrade from Arsenal. So ultimately, like we have, well, as my grandma would say, we are stuck in Stuttgart right now.
Am I still here?
Your screen is frozen, but we can still hear you, my G.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I lost what you were saying there. Sorry, what was the last thing you said? Don't know why my thing's moving booky yet right now, but close down this window. But this is our captain, yeah. I need to upload it. Hold on 1 second. This was our captain the other day. Let me just upload it. And we're not going to go for too much longer, people. Yeah, we're probably gonna thing for the day in a moment. But let me just upload this. And big up to the chat each and every time, man. You've been magnificent as always. There's been a consistent between 10 and 17 people watching this show today. So make sure you slap up the likes, people. Yeah, this is our captain the other day. Wrong side of his man for them to score the equalizer. Look at the fear in the arse. Look at Declan Rice. Look at Deckers. Deckers knows that guy's scoring. Gabriel knows that guy's scoring. Even Mosquera.
Yeah.
So
he's getting in front. He's in front of Odegaard. And Odegaard is finished. Now, my question to both of you now. Do we pursue with Odegaard in this title race, or do we just say, listen, Eze, it's your time to shine? And the thing is, yeah, we can't expect miracles from Eze right now. Do you agree with that, or do you not agree with that?
Yes, so there's definitely a little bit of unfairness to be expecting Eze to become like the Crystal Palace version of himself, like right on the flick of a switch, like after being iced out of the squad, after being benched, after having all of his confidence drained. But simultaneously, like the manager can change that. The manager can make amends to that, to reinstill that confidence in Eze. Because I'm here to tell you this, and I'm sure, and I'm not sure, well, I mean, I am sure that others would agree. If Odegaard even sees pitch, we're done. Forget it. Like Odegaard is probably one of the greatest dead weights at this club. If he sees pitch and in any game, we are going to be. It is at least at minimum a 75% chance that we are either drawing or losing.
Craig?
Yeah, when Hubbard was playing the other day, and it was him and Gyökeres was having a good, like, they're working well together, getting through balls. I think Eze can do the same to help, like, unlock our striker and getting goals as well. So I feel like Eze needs to be given what. Since Odegaard is apparently injured, then you got to apparently, as I said, always hiding, one of the two. But I think now it's time for Eze to step up and do his thing.
I'll let you.
Well, let me ask you, like, do you do we think that perhaps Eze has been trying to step up and do his thing, or do you think that because like Arteta plays so rigidly and so forcibly boring that that, for example, that he's not only tampered down in that sense, but even if he tries to subvert the manager's directions and tactics, that he may also risk being benched simply because like he's not following like the manager's directives and orders?
I think so. I think if he does anything, then he'll be like, he's always on the sidelines, always like just doing his pointing and shouting and everything. I feel like if he does not what the manager wants of him, then maybe you'll just take him off and bring someone else on. I don't think that's fair to him. If he doesn't, he's a player that isn't like, if you see Mavericks, like, he's a Maverick kind of player. You know what I mean? He's not a player that he can unlock defenses. He scored against us last season in the 2-2 game at the Emirates, where he did a good, like, he very off the cuff, knows what he wants to do. Give him the ball, he can create or he can score. He needs to get back to that old Crystal Palace Eze that was doing that last season, getting goals and assists. I know he can do it. I believe he can definitely do it, but the manager has to have faith in him, and he can do it. Like, if they don't have faith in him, then what's the point signing him in the first place? You might as well sign somebody else if you didn't want him. But as you guys have said, it was an Berta signing, it wasn't an Arteta signing. So, maybe he's trying to prove a point to the owners on the board that I didn't want him in the first place. But you can't do that now. You got him there now. He has to prove to the club he can do his thing. I think he can do it. I believe he will do it if given the chance.
And simultaneously, like, to that point, like, Berta may have signed both Eze and Gyökeres, like, just on the basis of just being a football director and being a proven one at that. He could have signed Eze and Gyökeres to not only expose Arteta to the Cronkies, in the sense that they have been duped for the last 6.5 years, like, backing a manager that has no pedigree, that has no winning track record, and demonstrate that this, that this manager isn't able to get the best out of players that were some of the most informed players just last season. Like, Gyökeres was one of the most informed strikers in Europe. Eze was a proven Premier League player. Like, he should have been able to walk into the squad and and kick off from the ground running. And the fact that neither of the two have been working out to the extent that they ought to be should be, I mean, that's probably one of the greatest concerns in of itself. Because again, like, people were rating last summer's window 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, best summer window that we've ever had. I mean, quantity wise, there was quantity wise, like, the amount of players that had walked in were the same amount of players that had left. So there wasn't any change there. And the supposed upgrades that we had got, because mind you, like, Gyökeres and Eze, like, they're two quality players. Like, players just don't drop on a dime like this for no apparent reason. Like a striker that just scored 97 in 197 goals in 102 games doesn't just suddenly forget how to put the ball in the back of the net. And even more so for a player like Eze, who is familiar with the Premier League, who is familiar with with the style of football that is played in this league. It is an absolute travesty, and as a result, like, he's not going to the World Cup this year either, guaranteed. Arteta has completely destroyed. He has completely destroyed his destroyed his career at the moment. And it's why I'm also saying I am reserving judgment for both Eze and Gyökeres when a better manager comes in. And I'm still under the impression that a better manager as well, big up to you, BX Gunner, a better manager as well is going to get more out of these players, including some of Arteta's favorites, if they're even still here. Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of players at this club right now that aren't good enough to wear the badge, let alone wear the armband.
Yeah, man, definitely. Hey, Craig, you've not shared this to your you're not done. Hey, you need to do it now, bro. You need to, you need to thing it to your, not share it. You need to stream it to your thing. It's not on here.
I thought I did it before.
No, it's, hold on. Let me check your channel quickly. Yeah, I just want to just double check. Whilst I do that, people, yeah, make sure you're smashing the likes and everything. Yeah, what's your opinions, guys, in the chat? I know there's a bit of a divide. People are saying that Eze needs to be better. I suppose the question to both of you guys, yeah, what do we need to see from Eze going into this crucial point of the league now? Because he's probably plays tomorrow, I would have thought. Who's going to play if Odegaard's injured? If Odegaard's got a brain injury, who's playing? No, but who's going to play in that 10? And is there a possibility? Yeah, and thank you, people. Got 1,400 subs now.
Big up, man. Big up,
man. Yeah. We road to 1,500. But anyway, that doesn't matter right now.
And that camera's still frozen like a motherfucker. For sure.
Oh man, brother, you know what is? It's because I'm on YouTube trying to sort out Craig as well. Yeah, just to make sure Craig's streaming it to his channel. And make sure you go and subscribe to Craig as well. I don't know what you've done, Craig, yeah, but you need to do it now. Do it now while you can, yeah. Okay. Just do it now. Stream to your audience. If you have to come off, take your camera off, whatever. Stream to your audience, yeah, so you can do that. But anyway, I suppose my question to you, Dr. S, is what does Eze have to do now? From now until the end of the season, what does he have to do in this team?
For me, it's very simple. Two things: goals and assists. Exactly what a 10 should be doing. Exactly what we've always known a 10 to do. We need Eze to not only create chances, but we also need him to score goals. We are looking thin and bare going forward in the final third. People always talk about, every team in the league, sets up a low block. Yeah, it's because our build-up play is slow. It is because we play such a geriatric level of Tim Lewis hairstyle U-shaped football around the final third that defenses have the ability to put 10 men behind the ball. We need to be more incisive. We need to be playing more with pace. But now that I say it, do you think it's possible we're not playing with any pace because all our players are injured and their hamstrings are completely shot? So ultimately, they rather maybe a part like a Martinelli or like a Madueke, they can't run at their full pace because they're all damaged goods at this point.
I heard you say earlier, yeah, that Arsenal ain't winning no trophies at the end of the season. So I guess you don't believe that we've got a chance in the cup final against Man City in the Carabao Cup. Do you not feel that we have a chance?
So there are two primary variables why we don't, or at least it's all dependent on the manager. As far as like how he sets up the team and whether or not he is seeking to play for a win. It would not be a surprise to me because, again, going back to that psychology, student versus teacher, another proxy war example like this. Arteta is ultimately trying to prove himself to Pep and to everyone in the world that's watching that he has what it takes to beat Pep in an actual trophy competition, because the Community Cup doesn't count. I'm sorry, folks, it does not count. The issue that I have with Arteta is that he is ultimately going to set up very defensively. I could imagine the game going to penalties as well, just just because like it is going to be I think it's going to be a really boring cut match, and if we go down 1-0, I don't think we come back from it.
What about you, Craig? Big up to Zir Talks in the building as well. Yeah, big up Aki. I hope you're well. If someone's done a redirect to me, big up to you as well. Yeah, because we've got 18 in the building. It's not usually you get these numbers, so it's been really good. Your belief? Do you have any belief about the cup final? Do you believe we can win this cup final? And do you think Eze can, be really important in this running and this cup final to bring us a trophy home?
I think it's very crucial in this cup final. I think what wins us the finals, the two defenses. Whoever defends well on the day wins the cup final. That's how I look at it. If we defend well, we can stop Haaland and all their flair players like Semenyo, Haaland, Marmoush, Foden, and if we can, get a goal, most likely it's going to be a set piece or something. Most likely, then we go on and win the game. So that's how I look at it. I think defense is the one that wins this game. And whoever can score the crucial goal, whoever goes 1-0 off in the game goes on and wins the game, I would say.
I hear it. Look, Gay scored today as well, and that is against Salford today as well. But him and Semenyo, they're proving to be like really good buys. When I was talking about, let's go and get Gay, let's go and get Semenyo, people are like, but sometimes you have to make like these signings, to not let Man City get their hands on them. And Semenyo, Arsenal fan, Gahey, he's born in London. He would have easily made that trip. Okay, the argument could be maybe he's not going to get first team football, but I'm sure he would have come to Arsenal, I'm sure he would have come to Arsenal, but obviously he's on big wages at Man City as well, so it is what it is. Craig, you've still not done it, but you've missed out on the watch hours today, so I'm very disappointed with you today.
I tried to do it. We'll talk after.
Yeah, talk over. What happened when you put stream to audience? I
did it, and it said I did it on the StreamYard thing.
Yeah.
And I
and what happened?
The thumbnail, and they said it was going to schedule for 8. I scheduled it for 8 o'clock on the.
No, just press save. Just save. You don't need to schedule it. Just save it.
Okay.
Because once you save it, that means you're going to get the whole of the stream. You need to do that now. That's what I'm saying. Just save it. Don't worry about thumbnail. We'll talk about that afterwards. But make sure you just save it because this is our stream today, bro.
Okay.
And I don't want you missing out on the watch hours because you're not run anything live yet. And we're trying to get you up. Because listen, people, promotion. So I'm promoting my boy Craig. Craig wants to get into streaming now. His link's been in the channel. We want to get him, get his subs up. Also, as well, we want to get Dr. S's subs up as well, America's public servant. America's finest. Want to get him involved as well. That's why we do these panel shows as well. It's not just about opinions, just opinions based, but we want to just big up and bring up our people's them. It's not just about me. We've got other guys as well. Help one. Was it? What's that thing? Help one to. What is it? What's that saying, man? Was it help one to be feed? I can't remember. I can't remember. Anyway. It's one of them ones. 19 people in the building. Make sure you stop the light. Go and do it now, Craig. Before I throw you out of this. I'll throw you out of the stream. I don't mess about. Hey, big up to Zir Talks each and every time. Hey, Dr. S. Quickly before we kind of get out of here. Arsenal versus Wigan. And I know this is slightly going off topic for the Arteta thingy discussion. Who are you playing tomorrow? Because it seems like players are all over the place. Some players need some rest. Who are you playing tomorrow? What's your starting 11?
And just all right. So can we just review first, like who's like injured, just so that we're not
Okay, I'll bring this up now. Hold on a second. Let me just share this. And big up to Yasser in the building, man. Yasser, my brother. Yasser, we need to do a show. Yasser's been ducking me recently.
Yo,
I don't know why.
Well, I'll tell you why. You know, like man's out here, you know, looking like Chance the Rapper, you know, doing shows and doing shows.
Hey, you seen the flow? Man's got some flow right now. What is going on? But big up to him, man, each and every time, man. Big up to Yasser, man.
Absolute legend. All right.
So Odegaard's out. Saka.
They're saying physical discomfort. I mean, no, it's like it's mental discomfort.
Brother, his hamstrings must have been burning from them hot water bottles. Did you see the guy had 2 hot water bottles on his hammies?
Oh yes,
at the Brentford game.
Yeah, Saka the difference. I was talking about our quasi captain. No, I mean see that right there. That right there to me, Waffle Don, is probably one of the most shining examples of how poor this manager is when it comes to player management. How is it why is it right that a player who has to have hot bottles of water underneath their leg, why is he even on the bench? Why are you even putting him out on the pitch? Shout out to you, Waveland. Big you up as well.
Waveland each and every time, man.
That shit to me, that really does grind my gears because we know that Saka had a very severe injury.
Emotional damage.
Fuck yes, it is. Pardon my French, but it absolutely is. So not only did Saka have that massive injury, he also had surgery. He was then rushed back as well. He still hasn't had the opportunity to really rehabilitate from that injury, and he is likely still playing. Rather, it is ultimately why he has lost a step of pace in his game. It is why he looks like half the player that he was just 3 years ago. Simply because this fucking manager has ran this player into the ground. He has been given so much onus and responsibility to score goals, to create assists, to be our primary focal attacking point, and he has unfortunately developed a very selfish streak over the last year or so that he has forgotten to involve other teammates, on the pitch. The fact that he was even fielded the other day, no, that was an absolute travesty. So, all right, so that is those are the injuries. Okay, so I guess so as far as keepers are concerned, I don't mind starting Kepa. I thought Raya was average the other day, and he got lucky very, very, very often. You know what's funny? I haven't seen another goalkeeper apart David Raya who wants to be an outfield player so much. It's almost like this man goes to therapy and talks to his therapist about how he wants to be an outfield player, because I see this man going outside of the 18-yard box so many times unnecessarily. I personally did not care for him. Granted, he is a slight upgrade to Ramsdale, but he's still a number 2. We do need to upgrade in the keeper role as well, in my perspective. But to that end, going back to starting 11, I'll play Kepa. I'll be playing White. Give Timber a rest. He needs it. I'll be playing Mascara. He had a pretty decent game for the most part. Made a few excellent tackles on Igor Thiago. I really don't want to see Calafiori play. But if he were to play, I would rather see him playing center back than left back, because he's absolutely awful at left back. And even going back to that Matty Cash goal during the Villa game, where was Calafiori, right? Why was Eze having to track back and play left back? I can tell you where Calafiori was. He was over at fucking Mark and Spencer's, grabbing a little bite.
There's Calafiori there.
Right there, in the center, of the pitch, right?
Yeah, the center. Yeah, the center.
Yeah,
in the center back position. Yeah.
I don't want our best attacking players, having to play so deep defensively. They should be a little bit higher up in the pitch, just so that they can start the counter, so they can start the break. So right, so starting 11. So I would say Kepa, White, Mascara. You know what? Hell, put that Salmon kid at center back. Marley Salmon, put him at center back. then maybe put like Lewis Skelly at left back. In midfield, Norgard should get a start. Give Rice a rest. He needs a massive rest as well. It's starting to look thin. There's a lot of there's starting to accumulate a good amount of injuries and like in that area. So I would say midfield Norgard. I don't know who else we have like for midfielders, but but I would be starting Eze in the 10. Up front.
Who else have we got? Dr. S?
Well,
in that position.
Oh, Zubamendi. That's right, Zubamendi. Yeah, I guess Norgard, Zubamendi, Eze. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this manager plays Zubamendi in the 10 before he plays Eze in the 10. It would be so classic him. But let's just go with Norgard, Zubamendi, Eze in midfield. I don't know. Like Gyökeres up front.
Are you gonna play York? Yeah, you're gonna start York. Yeah.
Yeah,
we need him to get some goals in it, confidence.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Let him get a few goals against Wigan. I also wouldn't mind seeing a 4-4-2, but we know that this manager isn't going to do that, and I would be happy to see Gyökeres and Jesus up front, and then give like a little cameo to that Harry Menanus, kid, bring on some youth, for this game for sure. I think there can be a good blend of both experience and youth, hell, like even Josh Nichols at right back wouldn't be a bad option. So we do have players there. So I guess overall Kepa, White, Mascara.
Is Dalman back yet, or is he still? I don't think he's.
Supposedly he is part of the squad for tomorrow, and I'll be starting him at right wing. And I guess I would do Martinelli at left wing.
Oh, Martinelli at left wing, yeah. That's not. And what? Noni on the right, yeah.
No, Max Dalman at the right.
Oh, that yeah. What? He's not going to start though, is he?
Yeah, probably not. You're right. Well, you're right. So I guess Madueke is starting, and then Dalman coming on as a sub.
Yeah. We don't. Saka can just stay where he is, man. We don't even need him on the pitch, man.
Correct.
Yeah, I've got. You know what? I'll tell you. The screenshots, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You know what? Big up to Southern Guna for that, because I was thinking of him in mind when sometimes you got to get the receipts out. So when people want to start crying and saying no, I remember I done a stream talking about Turkish and Robbie, and some guy was in my commenting saying, "Oh, you don't know," and all that. I was just like, these are opinions, brother, man. Just calm yourself down. Yeah, but I had to show people receipts and everything today, so people understand, that it's not an agenda thing by us fans. Yeah, there are real serious issues. Yeah, and as Dr. S said, getting over the line is very tough for Arsenal than retaining the league, because if we were to get over the line, then the next pressure is going to be from the fans. Oh, you need to retain it. But I don't feel that pressure as badly as getting over the line, because I think you can go a couple of years, although I don't want to go a couple of years. You can still go a couple of years and people can't say to you, "Oh, you haven't won anything," because we've won a major Premier League. But just before we bounce off, what is your percentage rate in terms of winning the Premier League this season with what we've got right now?
Who, asking me or Craig?
Anyone could go. Anyone, it's open panel.
Go on, Craig. I've been yapping for a little bit.
What's your percentage rate? Yeah, hey, I'm sorry. Before you go, before the percentage rate, what's your team for tomorrow? Because Craig, we need to have words after this, brother.
I tried to.
What are you doing? Hold on. Are you serious?
I tried to do the thing. I don't know. I'm doing it on my iPad, isn't it? So it's not. It's just...
Brother, just put the title in
I did it before.
And save it.
I
Just
did
put the
it.
title in this. Just put anything in there for now. You can change it afterwards. Just put a title in and save it. That's all you need to do for now.
Okay, cool. That's okay.
Listen, mate. Listen. Don't let me rock up to your house. You know. I'll pull up. I will pull up. I will pull up because listen, this brother only lives down the road from me. You know?
Yeah.
I will pull up to your house tonight, wearing my Arsenal top, bro. Yeah. Henri on the back as well. You know. Pause. Make sure you sort that out. Sort it out.
I'm sorting it out.
Well, again,
what's your percentage?
Right. So percentage win the league.
This guy's gonna go -20 or so. He's gonna go with some crazy like.
Look, as I said, I'm a man of seeing is believing, right? You know, like everyone who knows, like at the beginning of the season, I had rated the window of 5 out of 10 at best. And I said that we were not going to be winning any silverware just by default of who the manager is and the fact that we had retained him, right? So that was my foundational belief. It's still a belief that I maintain. I still don't think we're winning anything. I would say just based off of where we are currently, I give ourselves a 2% chance.
Sorry? Did you say 2%?
Yes.
2%.
Greater than 1 and less than 3.
Okay, let me ask you a question then, yeah? Let me go back a week ago or 9 days ago, yeah? What would your percentage have been then if we had won against Brentford and who was United?
Probably would have been the 5 to 10% range.
Really?
Unfortunately, right? The only thing that I can reference is our history under this manager and the history as a club. You know, like we can look back at 2002, 2003. Yo, Dio, you are fine. Look, you know, like even though we don't see eye to eye on everything, like I still got respect for you as an individual. You know, like, and you're funny, man. You know, so shout out to you. So look, like we have seen this club bottle the league in 2002, 2003 when we had absolute legends. We had pillars of players like at this club. We were top of the league in December. We didn't win it. In 2007, 2008, when Eduardo was banging goals left and right, we did not win it. Got his leg chopped. We went on a tailspin since 2013, 2014. We had talked about earlier. Went over to Anfield, you know, like on February 1st, 2014, and got absolutely slapped around 5-1. 2015, 2016, the year that Leicester won the league. It was all in our hands. But no, we had to let some folks that just got promoted from the championship 2 years prior to that to pip us to the league. Then back in 22-23, when we were top of the league for 93% of the season, 93%. How are you going to achieve being top of the league over that amount of period of time and still not be able to win it? Or even the following year when we were top of the league in week 36. Week 36, we were top of the league and we still didn't win it. So unfortunately, look, it is a little bit PTSD. It is. But I can only reference based off of what history has presented us. And additionally, this manager has not done what it has taken to rectify the issues. In fact, he has only doubled down and made them worse. Because again, we could say that if we, that even last year or even this year for that matter, if we had been playing the same type of football in 22-23, I don't think we would be having this conversation. I think we would be 12 to 15 points clear than the rest of the season. I think we probably would have had the league already wrapped up by the end of March, just like how Liverpool pretty much had it wrapped up early on in the second half of the season. This manager has not done anything to address the issues that still remain from when even he was a player. Because we were soft pussyoles back then, dropping points when we didn't need to, bottling it at the greatest amounts of pressure. We're still doing the same things. And again, it is PTSD, but I truly fear that as we continue to lose more players because this manager is not managing the squad to the level that he should be, I fear that we are going to lose players to injury. We are then going to start, like weighing out which games we need to start focusing on. So, for example, it may be possible that we may end up throwing away the FA Cup just because we have bigger fish to fry. And as we've seen as well, we have seen our margin at the top disappear over time. City have been playing absolutely awful. They have been absolutely a complete reversal of the years past, and they're only 4 points off of us, despite playing so poorly. So they are. So I mean, like it just. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I had said last year, I already have like a lot of things already clipped up. I already have the All or Nothing Part 2 documentary poster already drafted. Simply, simply because I have seen the writing on the wall. Like, it's why Berta has been brought in by the Cronkies. Like, it's exactly just that. Like it's just so long, like, and the fact that there are still, like, people not in this chat, but the fact that not as much as the chat, I don't want to presume, but the fact that there are still people within our fan base that are still backing this manager, that to me is delusion of the highest order.
Definitely, man, definitely. People, yeah. Make sure. Listen, I just got to do a quick admin thing. Yeah, people, make sure you're slapping the likes. Yeah, this has been a lit stream, man. It's been a very good stream today. Big up to my guests, man, like Dr. S in the building, and man like Craig as well. It's been a great show today.
We gotta start calling you Frozone out here, man, because y'all. You're.
You know what it is, because I've got YouTube open, I've got this open, I've got my automations open, and all of this rubbish. Yeah, it's because I'm freezing up the place. But I'm trying to get Craig. Check your email, Craig. Yeah, I want to get Craig before we end the stream. I want to get him so he gets the full benefit of the stream as well. That's why I'm the waffle don, innit? Because I just waffle on and waffle on and waffle on. And I want to eat some dinner as well and chill with the missus as well, because I want to go. So Craig is going to get a cuss out after this stream, bro. I'm telling you, because... Hey, Craig. Did you check the email, yeah?
I'm checking it now. Yeah, I got it.
I was going to say to you, are you're doing a watch along tomorrow? Or you're not doing a watch along?
I'm going to the game.
Oh, you're going to the game?
Yeah, brother told me yesterday, going to the game. He told me yesterday last night.
Nice. But listen, don't worry. We'll still stream it to your channel. So don't worry about that. You'll get the full benefits of us streaming to your channel as well. This is what we're doing, bro. Co-host. You're still streaming. You still get the benefits, yeah? So don't worry about that. We're still sorted out.
And there are still plenty of things to talk about, like in the chat. So look, like, Boy Tendio, as I said, I don't think we're winning any trophy. And if we start like splicing hairs about percentages, like, it's moot. Because at the end of the day, I don't think we're winning anything. So the Carabao Cup. On paper, the chance of winning the Carabao Cup is 50-50, just because it's two teams going into a match. However, just based on how Arteta moves, I feel that he is going to play. I feel it's going to set up very defensively. We're also likely not going to have a full squad, unlike City, because as we know, like, they're having like some key players returning back from injury. Not even 10%. I don't know. I mean, like as I said, like, on paper, both teams have a 50% chance, just because there is no second leg match. Like, this is it. I just don't trust this manager. I would trust myself on the chance of going out and playing the lottery to even win £5 more than I trust this manager being able to get over the line. How do I want to be proven wrong? I keep on saying it. Absolutely. Because if I'm proven wrong, it means we're seeing armpits lifting up trophies, and that's all I care about. I mean, it is so linear for me. Like, I just want to see this club be successful. I want to see this club dust off the cakes of dust that are sitting in our trophy cabinet. So look, yeah, you're right. There is no bigger fish to fry. We have supposedly we have the best squad in the world, all the best players in every single position, the best manager. There's no excuses. You're absolutely correct. Like I just like so yeah. I mean like there's a lot of narratives that are going to be falling apart very quickly. You know because only it's a very either or situation. Like either we do win things and Arteta finally like proves that that he does have some metal to him, or it proves that this players and this manager don't have what it takes. So again, like most points, most Premier League points in the last 4 years means nothing. Do you know why? Because there's no silverware to show for it. It's a moot point. It's an irrelevant statistic. I mean, like I like again, like I don't know what we're doing here. No, we want again. Greatest of small time. Oh, yeah, that is very much a name that is fitting for you, my friend. We want to get an improvement on the manager, like a Luis Enrique, like like an Inzaghi, like even a Zidane. Even though that probably Zidane wouldn't, rather wouldn't pull up here. We want a manager with a proven pedigree. Like even when Arsene Wenger had arrived here, he had a pedigree like in Japan for Grand Passat. And with Monaco, like he had pedigree, and he won a double in his first full season. So it's just like,
so my question to you, Dr. Seymour, yeah, if we had also Wenger for the season that we were 93% top of the league, do you think Wenger would have won the league that season with the squad that Arsenal had that season? You'd have got over the line.
I think so, yeah.
And do you think this season, if he's in the same position that Arteta's in right now, with all the games, do you think he'll get over the line again as well with the squad that he's got right now this season as well?
I think so. Just by default, he would be getting more out of Eze and Gyökeres, and as we also know, like Wenger had a track record getting the best out of attacking players at this club.
So maybe Arteta needs to watch Wenger then on trying to use his methods and try to get us over the line.
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said that maybe Arteta needs to watch Wenger's methods and try and get us over the line. Use some of his methods and get us over the line. Play more attacking football and winning games. Not as they say, pull off the handbrake and try and win games more. Don't be so rigid and there's certain teams you can go all out and go for the game. Like we're playing Wolves on Wednesday, you can go all out and go and beat them. And other teams, when it's a hard team, just try and defend well and then get a goal and try and kill the game off. I think that's the biggest problem with us. Like we'll go 1-0 up and then we'll start defending. Like against Brentford the other day, we just went 1-0 up in the second half, started defending, and then adding pressure to us. Then obviously they're going to score eventually because they had so many chances to score in that game, and it's just because I don't know if you guys remember that tackle from Mosquera on Thiago when the goalkeeper. If he never made that tackle, that they go win that game 2-3-1, they'll win that game. And with the Martinelli chance as well, I know everyone's watched it, but if you see the pass to Martinelli, the way how the angle of the pass to him was he couldn't do anything with that pass. I think Timber should have ran more to the right side, and then maybe he would able to angle, and maybe he could have squared it across, then he could have simple tapping. But in hindsight, these things happen. But I know we didn't lose the game, but maybe this will be a valuable point at the end of the season. You never know. It depends if it goes down to goal difference or goals scored or whatever. So, yeah.
Those are great points that you mentioned, and I guess like the one follow-up that I would have to that is, like why hasn't Arteta changed up yet? Like we are already good 60-70% of the way through the season, and and everyone that has a pair of eyes, can see that we are not firing at all cylinders, on the attack level. Like, why? What is it going to take Arteta to change something like that? And even furthermore, is he even going to be able to recognize that he needs to change up before it's too late?
Well, he has to change up because he's under serious pressure. It's been over £1 billion on players. He has to deliver something this season, a trophy. Not just one trophy, as much trophies as he can available for us to win. If we win the league this year, that'll be a bonus. If we win the League Cup, I think the League Cup game is going to be a massive Because that's what I think. We'll see where we head. If we win that, I think go on to win the league. If we don't win that, then serious questions are going to be asked of him, and the whole club's going to be, you know how the fan base is already. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, bottling it again. You get rival fans in Arsenal, bottlers, because we bottled it. We just need to shut all them fans off and go and do our thing and win the league, man, and do well in the cups as well. So, it's up to Arteta now, and he has to use the squad. He has to have faith in all the players now. To not end this season, players who are injured, he can't rely on them right now. He has to believe in not just his favourites, he has to believe in the whole team. That's good. This is a make or break for him now. It's a make or break for him now. That's it. If he doesn't do it this season, then I can't see him staying.
You're spot on. The only thing I want to say, to this United fan, I honestly don't give a damn about rival fans trying to justify why we as Arsenal fans should keep a manager at this club. Arteta has been anything but unlucky. All right, man has had time, patience, resources, unlimited authority, unlimited support, unlimited control at this club. So no, it's not diluted to back him after 6.5 years and 1.3 billion spent. And after all, and mind you, we have not won a single fucking trophy after all the expenditures. It's not diluted. No, the reason why the world laughs at us is because there are people who still back this. Because there hasn't been anything tangible. The only trophy that he has won as a manager was with a team that he inherited, and then he actively got rid of them one by one. So no, there is precedence established. What he needs to do, what he has been needing to do, especially on the salary that he is, a top 5 managerial salary in the world, he needs to demonstrate that he is worth the bread and that he is able to get over the line. The end. I honestly don't know why we're still having this conversation. It's absolute nonsense on stilts.
Look at Liverpool, man, 3-0 up against Brighton as well. So Liverpool are starting to find some nice form as well. But listen, people, we're going to end it there, man. Hour and 40 minutes, people, of just great conversations with great guys tonight, man. It was nice to get, your opinions tonight. It was nice to hear what you thought about, Eze, the manager, obviously us going forward in terms of winning and stuff like that. And I think a lot of the opinions were kind of like close in our understandings and, the way we think as well. And sometimes it's good to be like that, other times, you're going to have a difference of opinion. But I think tonight, a lot was straightened out tonight, because sometimes you get people that are just going to come with loads of excuses, and it's just excuses that probably aren't even justified. It's probably like, but we love him, but he's done this for the club, but he's done that. No, it doesn't mean anything unless you get over the line, because if you don't get over the line, then that's that. You're not it. But listen, people, we're going to wrap up there. It's been a great stream. The chat's been magnificent tonight. Listen, this is what I need to do for the chat tonight, because the chat has been on levels tonight. And listen, we got to give you this, one more, because I'm telling you.
Organization for sure.
And big up to the greatest of small time, or Ghost that they call it. Is he your boy on your side?
He ain't my boy, that's for
sure. Is he your boy, Craig? Is he your boy, Craig?
Who?
Ghost. Craig's just like, the greatest of all time. This brother, is he you? Is he yours? Because you keep saying, we saying Craig.
Must be
United fan.
You Man United fan, yeah. You sure you don't know this guy?
Never met him.
Must be my friend. I'm not
Craig's
sure.
just like, boy, listen.
Must be my friend.
With it tonight, man.
I'm not sure. He was saying a whole lot.
I think that's your boy, man. I bet you I know him as well. I probably might even actually, I might not know him actually, because he would have said.
Big up greatest of all time.
Big up to greatest of small time. And big up to my boy AFC always, and boy 10 as well in the building. Waveland as well. I'm loving you in the chats as well. And listen, all of you man in the matches today, you're all classified 30s. So listen, people, we are out. And listen, I got to teach Craig now, so it's going to take me another 10 minutes. Anyway, we out. Big up.
There you go, guys. Peace.